Fields of knowledge often arise where no one would expect them to. As such, when a preponderance of experiences and evidence are present, then science must attempt to find the cause and effects. In some cases, the field is so new that hypotheses are still being developed and no conclusions have been made. We are fortunate to be able to observe these phenomena for ourselves and draw our own conclusions, or at least file away our thoughts on the matter for further contemplation. One of these fields is in the area of near-death experiences, or life after death research. It's important to maintain a healthy skepticism of individual experiences, as the field is so young that there is a tendency for facts to be skewed by individual perceptions. It is therefore important to approach the subject from a scientific perspective to ensure we are not swayed by individual biases. We do this by following the core tenet of science: replication. Scientific theories come from data obtained through multiple experiments that have identical results. When examining near-death experiences, we must therefore exclude all items or experiences that are not consistently repeated. A near-death experience, or NDE, takes place on the brink or upon the death of an individual and recounted by them upon recovery. Amazingly, the sheer numbers of NDEs provide us with plenty of data to form an opinion. Let's take a closer look. Researchers now believe 1 in 20 people will have a near-death experience, and studies show that between 12% and 40% of people who go through a near-death episode later report having a near-death experience. There are several million people in the US alone that have had NDEs. The most common experience is that of the out-of-body experience. This is when an individual says that their consciousness leaves their body and that they experience things from a completely different perspective. Large numbers of these individuals say that they have viewed their rescue attempts from the ceiling of the hospital room, or have seen their family in the nearby waiting room, or even in locations much farther away. Amazingly, they can tell the doctors and surgical team what they witnessed in great detail, or can recreate conversations loved ones were having when they were not there physically but in that altered state. Skeptics are unable to provide an explanation for how this is even remotely possible. The second most common experience is the sensation of peace and an all-encompassing love with absolutely no pain associated with the body. The sensation is so positive that a great number of individuals report not wanting to return or even being upset when they do. Another common experience is the crossing over experience, such as a tunnel, bridge, or staircase, where a sense of acceptance, love, and familiarity await them on the other side. A fascinating occurrence related by many is the life review. This is where one re-experiences events they had in life from their point of view, and also from the perspective of those their actions had an effect on. Interestingly, many of the memories were long forgotten by the individuals and only recalled in the near-death experience. There are also a large number of experiences where the individual is greeted and comforted by loved ones who have already died. Interestingly, there are a number of times when an individual who was being interacted with was not recognized by the experiencer until long after the near-death experience. There have been numerous instances when they come across an old photo album or video where they recognize who they made contact with, only to be told that they could never have met that relative. There are many more common near-death experience, or NDE experiences, like being greeted by a light or beings of light, a rapid rising into heaven, and a different perception of time and space, among other things. However, what is important for an unbiased seeker of truth is to focus on 3 key points for near-death experiences. First, with millions of individuals who have experienced them, they require careful consideration. Second, when large amounts of events occur with similar experiences, we need to respect that there must be value in these shared perspectives. Thirdly, so many of the experiences cannot be explained away by skeptics and in fact appear impossible from a human perspective. As a final note, When asked if they fear death after their near-death experience, in almost every case they are no longer afraid and they have a sense that they are here on Earth for a reason. There is a reason for us all to be here, whether it is to learn important lessons or to make a positive difference in the lives of others. They have a new sense of purpose and a better perspective on what is important in life. For them, love is almost universally named as a core tenet, and it is vital to stay here as long as possible to learn or make a difference. And because of that, they have no fear and even look forward to returning. Near-death experiences are at the cutting edge of research. However, the sheer quantity of shared experiences allows us to take the information seriously. This is helpful in assisting us to form an opinion as to the existence of God, or at the very least, a reality science has yet to understand. A number of the discussions that follow will look to add to our knowledge as we search for the ultimate question of God and our existence. For further and more in-depth discussions on this series and related topics, please visit AwareCareShare.